Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. Today I want to talk about a very interesting topic. As I am a student of tourism, I think that one of the most important areas when we are talking about professional English applied in tourism is the topic of interpreting. So I have always been practicing for trying to be an interpreter. I am not a professional interpreter, I am only a student. I am learning, I am in my pathway of learning yet. So I don't want you to think about me like if I am a professional of this topic. I am a very beginner about interpreting. And what is interpreting? Interpreting is the process of orally translating something, and it could even be a sign language, like those people who don't know how to communicate, like using their hands, right? So it's translating something that is on one language, it could be even the sign language, and translate it to another language. So it can create that communication between two people could be possible. Because imagine the situation that there is a person who only speaks Spanish and there is another person who only speaks English. They both will not be able to have communication. But if there is an interpreter, the interpreter will be translated back and forward all the messages, so those two people will be able to have a conversation of that way. So for that reason, interpreting is so important, and when we are talking about tourism, it's something very important as well, because it could have the situation that we are at certain touristic place and there is a tourist guide, and imagine that for some reason the tourist guide, he don't know how to speak English, and the tourists, they are English native speakers. They will not understand to the tourist guide because the tourist guide only speaks Spanish. So having an interpreter in that moment would be making everything easy for the tourists, because the interpreter will be translating everything that the tourist guide say. Of that way, all the tourists will have a pleasant experience because they will be able to understand what he's saying. Right now, I want to show a demonstration of what interpreting is like. Once that I was doing a cocktail for my university, I was doing practices, and I was explaining everything in English. And the people that were around me, they were Spanish speakers. So most of them couldn't understand what I was saying. And a classmate of mine, he helped me translating everything that I said. He was interpreting. So this is a clear example of what interpreting is like. Now, if I would like that you learn something out of this presentation, is that when we are using whatever kind of mint, usually is the spring, the one that have most of the flavors, are not the leaf, not so much.
Dato importante, cuando vamos a hacer lo que son los cócteles, el extracto que vamos a usar tiene que salir de las ramitas, no directamente de las hojas.
Yes, those are the ones that give most of the delicious flavor to the beverage. So we will be using a muddler.
Vamos a usar un macerador.
Yeah, for smashing all of this, so the hierbabuena can add the flavor to the drink.
Para machacar las ramitas al final de la coctelera y que pueda desprender lo que es el sabor.
Well, so that is interpreting. And for finishing my video, I want to show you a strategy that I use for improving my interpreting skills. It includes reading. So if you have a Spanish book, for example this book is in Spanish. This one is one of my favorite ones. I love to read this book. An exercise that you could do is try to read the pages of the book and try to read out loud. And when you're trying to read this, for example, all of this is in the Spanish language, try to read it out loud, but in English. So I'm going to try right now. I cannot guarantee that I will not make mistakes, because interpreting, especially when it is part of reading also, it involves reading as well, is not easy. It's completely a great challenge. So let's try. So you can see there's no cheating. It's all in Spanish. I'm not cheating. I'm going to be translating in real time. Let's go. I felt overwhelmed and relieved at the same time. Yes, I could stay at least for one day. We will have dinner together and we will get drunk a little bit. Something that we have never done before when we were little kids. It was a great opportunity for forgetting all the foolish things that had happened minutes before. A great opportunity for breaking the ice that had been with us from Madrid. One day will not be a great difference. At least I would have something to tell to my friends. Separate beds, I said in a jokeful tone. And you pay the dinner. Because at this age I am still being a student and I don't have money. We left our luggage in the room of the hotel. We went down and we went walking to the local conference. We arrived early and we sat down in a cafe. I want to give you something, he said, giving me a red small bag. I opened it immediately. Inside of there was well, right now I didn't know how to say this word. So there's the moment when you are going to learn something new. For example, there's a word in Spanish that say medalla, and I don't really remember if it's badge or something like that. So it's in this moment, the moment of learning. Once that you stop because you have find out a word that you don't know how to say in your native language. Sorry, in the language that you want to learn, in your target language. In my case, my target language is English, and my native language is Spanish. So I know what medalla is in Spanish, but I don't remember clearly if it's badge or something like that, how you say it in English. So it's in this moment when I am going to learn, and when I can use the internet to search how you can say this word in the another language. So I can search how you say medalla in English, and I can learn from that. It's medal. That's the way of saying it. So in that moment, I am learning. So that's the strategy that I wanted to share with you. Keep doing your best for learning English, because learning English can change your life for the better. Thank you so much for watching.